How to do. It is I, Jason Wilson, Walking Broadcasting live this Thursday evening for another episode of the Book of Man Big Study with a brand new book. So come join us wherever you are. I don't care if it's your new car, your new house, your new clothes, your new shoes, you got new kids and a new wife. I don't care what you got new. Join us for this new book. Tonight, what's going on, Doc? How you doing this evening, brother?
Man, Lion, I am good, brother. I am good. Been waiting patiently for this.
Yeah.
This is a strong book, bro.
Oh,
this
man,
one,
I can say personally, this book improved my relationship without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
I can say that 100%. I know 100% some of the things I picked up in this book. And I know going through this, I'm going to pick up some whole new stuff.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The stuff I picked up the first time I read this book, without a doubt, changed my relationship. And I appreciate this book. And I have an appreciation for this book that I haven't had for many other books I've read.
Yeah, for me, it came at a time when I was talking to one of my friends a lot. We was just kind of finding out manly things like, how to be a man. This stuff, I guess what they call red pill, which we got to talk about that one day. That was happening. And this book was there, and it helped navigate me and him through it. And I got to understand a lot of stuff way better than I thought I did.
Right.
Or way better than what the world tells you it is.
That's even a better than the world tells. That's definitely a good way of looking at it. Because there's some things that we're going to see in this book that we're all going to recognize, but it's probably going to give us ways to navigate. Well, it gave me ways to navigate it that I had never used before.
Yeah, gave some solutions.
Yeah.
To some of the problems that many people have, that I had too. And I'm looking to get some more stuff out of it right now.
You know it. So let's go ahead. Let's break down who what's the book, who's it by. Let's give it to him.
Okay. Title of the book: The Way of the Superior Man. Author is David Deida. I guess I'll call it Deida.
Yeah,
Deida.
But that's pretty much how they pronounce it in the audio book. So that sounds correct. We're gonna roll with that.
And now the subtitle is something that'll catch you too: A Spiritual Guide to Mastering the Challenges of Women, Work, and Sexual Desire. So he get into all of that. So we're going to end up having some uncomfortable conversations as we go through this book, but it's stuff that we need to hear and stuff we need to actually think about.
What's so good about this book is this version I read was the 20th anniversary edition, which came out in 2004, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that means the initial book was written in 1984.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how so much of what he talks about applies directly to today. We were all so young in 84, we didn't realize what was going on around us.
Well, but as I read this and take my notes, this could have been written last month.
Exactly.
It could have been written last month easily.
Yeah. That's exactly my point. It applies directly to what most of us are dealing with. And I love how early on in the book he specifies the group that he's targeting. He says it can be for anybody, but this is who I'm targeting here. And I want y'all to understand that's who this is for. And because that simplifies a lot of what he's teaching here in this book.
Oh, yeah. So before we get into the preface real quick, everybody out there, if you would like to join the conversation, you had a little bit of something to say. There are two ways you can interact with us. The first way is that you can leave a comment down and we'll throw it up on the screen. We'll talk about it and we can converse like that. If you want to be a part of the show, you want to be a more interactive part, there's a link at the top. I wrote join the convo. That's for conversation. You click that, you in. And you up here with Doc and the Lion, and we can talk.
That's right. We're going to talk about it. We're going to hear what you got to say. And we always welcome individuals to the program. And please join us if you got some things. If you're reading along with us, I'm almost 100% you're going to have something to say. Because it's just too much good information.
Yeah, it's there. All right, man. So I guess let's go ahead and step in it.
Let's hit them with I know you took some notes like you always do.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
you
you
know
pulled.
me.
I know you pulled some stuff out. You want to hit them with the with the preface and let them know where
Yeah.
we're going with this.
All right, man. Listen to this. He said that a man's worth is found in his depth of being. A shallow man is easily perturbed and swayed, and is worth less to his woman and his world than a man who present is deeply sore. So that means that if somebody who wishy-washy, don't know where he is, where he going, what's going on, you mean nothing to anybody. You can't help anybody. You can't do anything.
You got to stand on something.
And this would do it.
Yep. Got to stand on something. So if you out here, I took that as you have a man got to have a code.
Oh yeah.
And you have to take the time to develop that code. And me and you, we talked about this, about developing a personal life mission.
Yes. Oh, the mission and vision. That's
The
right.
mission and vision. We talked about that, and we look at it. Everybody who's ever worked for a company, they have a company mission somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That to me made me think about, hey, you need to have something similar to that for your life.
Yeah. That's
We
right.
have a mission. We have a mission for this group, and I have a personal mission for my life. And since I have established that and have that ground to stand on, you can't really talk about nothing else.
No, that's true. That's true. I remember when you asked me a couple months ago, you said, Doc, so what do you want to do with this thing? What do you want to do with this show? What do you want to do with this group? We can help some people, or we can try to make some money.
Right.
And for me, about helping the people, man.
Yeah.
I mean, people say that, but yeah. Oh, hold on, man. We got a somebody enter in the chat.
Okay.
Hold on now. Let me throw him up here. Damien Hill.
There he is. Big Damien in the building. What's
He is
going
here.
on, big brother? How you doing this evening? Is he on?
Oh yeah. He breaking up a little bit.
Oh yeah, your sound ain't quite right, brother.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit there. A little bit, man. I don't know, bro. You might have to try it one more time. Go out and come back in. All right. He'll come back in.
Yeah, his sound was a little off.
Yeah, but it's all good. If he not on the show, he gonna contribute here. So but moving on, man, look at this thing. He said it cannot be fake. That's the thing that I highlighted. You can't fake this.
Nope.
You can't fake having a purpose, a mission, and being stable.
Nope.
Somebody you can't fake it. He also says, identify with money or accomplishment. A man feels weak when he compares himself to others who have more. But when he knows himself to be self-radiant awareness, conscious and lit up, awakening as man, he blooms in perfect harmony with the immense energy of reality. So basically, it don't matter if you make more money than me. It don't matter if you drive a fancier car than me. It don't matter if your house is way bigger than mine. Because to me, we still standing eye to eye. It don't even matter. And that's the way the superior man.
Yeah, we all men here. And I think that goes more to, regardless of where you are in life, you have to respect other men.
Yeah.
Men that stand on their ground the way you stand on yours, you have to respect them. I honestly look at that less about you as an individual and more about how you see the world and other men.
Yep. How you treat other people.
How you treat other people. And you have to look at people and say, okay, I'm going to stand on my ground. If this is a man who also stands on his, regardless of what that ground is.
That's right.
I at least respect him as a man and deserve to give him his platform the same way I deserve mine.
When I thought about Kevin Samuels at that point,
mm-hmm.
because you never hardly seen him angry.
Nope.
Except when somebody says something about a blue collar worker.
Right. Exactly.
When they said something about these regular men out there working, something happened in that man.
Oh yeah.
He dropped all that.
Yeah. He's like, hey, you're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that here.
Mm-mm, not at all. So that was just the preface. And I skipped over a lot of stuff, man. But I'm gonna jump down this thing a little further so we can get started in the chapters. The introduction, and this is the note that I wrote. This book is a guide for a specific kind of newly evolving man. Now watch this. The question I wrote is why? Why is it written for that man? And it's that the times are changing. We no longer have to fight in physical wars and battles.
Right.
The type of fight has changed. So must we. You can't go out there and just fight, beat people up and do all that no more. That's not where it is.
You have to be, yes, you can be an alpha male, so to speak, but it's a different type of alpha. Is almost like somebody like a Jordan Peterson, who's a thought leader. More
For
so
me,
than a physical leader.
For me, I don't even prescribe to them titles. I'm me.
Right.
More superior to anybody that say they alpha. It don't matter because I'm me.
Right.
That's just it.
I'm just trying to find words to describe this to people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's that's why it always goes back to the same thing we talk about being a leader in your household.
That's it. You hit it on the point.
Right.
So
you have to be a certain type of man in order to do that.
That's true. That's true. Because it's not easy. It doesn't come with instructions.
Nope.
That's something that I learned, because people can tell you how to do certain stuff in your house,
right,
but your house not like theirs. So it may or may not even work.
But I will say this, books like this will give you some insight.
Oh, that's it. It puts you where you need to be.
Put you where you want to. It'll give you some insight into some things that you can do. And I like this book because it gives you like actual things you can change in your daily routine, in certain situations. And it gives you actual steps. Because a lot of books come out with these kind of esoteric ideas and all this, this big, flowery words and all that stuff. And in this book, he's like, hey, do this.
Yeah, and he tell you exactly how to do it.
Right.
That's what I liked about this.
Yeah.
Because I'm big on that. But so listen to this. He says, what is the new superior man? Listen to this. The newly evolving man is not a scared bully posturing like some King Kong in charge of the universe. Nor is he a new age wimp, all spineless, smiley, and starry-eyed. So he does both.
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
keep it going, Doc.
All right, I was saying for that. He has embraced both his inner masculine and feminine, and he no longer holds on to either of them. He does not need to be right all the time, nor does he always need to be safe, cooperative, and sharing, like an androgynous Mr. Nice Guy.
That's the part I was wanting you to get to right there. That's the one.
Yeah.
Stop standing here taking anything and everything people give back. Give you. You got to have some damn standards.
Yeah.
You got to have. I think one of the biggest mistakes a lot of men make professionally and personally is not having the right expectations for themselves and for the people around you, because you're too damn soft and flowery and allow things to just come at you and you just accept them.
And but then it works the other way too. But I like what he said, Mr. Nice Guy. There's a book, and we may end up getting around to it, called No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Yep.
And the one thing from that book that stuck with me was unspoken contracts. And what that is an expectation you have from somebody else, but you never tell them.
Right.
And then you get upset when they don't live up to them.
Yep.
And that's exactly what you said. Also, he talked about the modern roles for men and women were fixed and separated back in the day. But now men and women are balanced. It's 50-50. Men are doing some feminine things. Women are doing some masculine things. So we have to learn how to survive in this world, we can be relics of the past and not make it. It gets harder and harder. You know, that's kind of how I find myself these days when I look at at movies and television. It just make me mad because you know everything has shifted. We just got to learn how to get that.
Oh yeah,
Now, go ahead.
it's we are definitely in a changing time, and I mean rapidly
Mm-hmm.
changing. And you have to figure out right now, like almost every single day, you have to readjust what you believe, not only what you believe in, but what you're going to allow your family to take in and the people
Oh
around
yeah,
you. It's such a we in such a
yeah.
rapidly changing time, and concepts and ideas and gender roles and all that kind of stuff are changing so fast.
You know we have to be. And I don't even know if y'all familiar with this, but I'm gonna try it because there might be some nerds out there listening. Nickelodeon had a cartoon, or it actually was an American anime. That's what they called it. Called the Avatar, the Last Airbender.
Yep. Remember that one?
So the thing about the Avatar, Aang was his name. Frozen, and then he came out and he was supposed to save the world. And he had to master all 5 elements to become the last airbender or reach the, I can't remember the state.
Yeah, the Avatar state.
The Avatar state. There you go. Now, when he learned all 5, then he went surpassed that and got into the Avatar state where he was all powerful. That's what this book is talking about with us. He always talks about moving beyond that goal that we set. Just like he said here, but in this 50-50 stage is only the second and intermediate stage of growth for men and women and not an end point.
Nope.
You have to reach your avatar state to get past this and survive in today's world in order to be successful and push things along. And this book is a part of that.
Yep. And I like how you compare that to the Avatar, because he was powerful
Mm-hmm.
with just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and his airbending knowledge. He was already a bad man,
Yeah.
but he wasn't nothing for the Fire Lord.
Oh no, Fire Lord Ozai.
Yeah. Unless he had all of them. You know, matter of fact, at first the girl was the daughter was wearing him out.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And he came back with it. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be us.
Yeah.
That's gonna be us going through this thing. You know, in this he talks about, you know, oh goodness, masculine and feminine. And
Right.
when I
It's a
talked
lot
to
of that.
Damien yesterday, and I wish he could have been on, because I know we got a chapter about that, but he said, you know what stuck out to me? When he said when women take on masculine traits and they do it for so long, the feminine starts to disappear.
Yep.
And the masculine, likewise, when we take on the feminine things for so long, the masculine starts to disappear. So we have to find a balance
One
of
of the
both.
things he said is a lot of the women he's talked to, professional women, say that their biggest issue with men is that the men are too soft.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think part of that issue is a lot of women are in their masculine
Mm-hmm.
and don't know how to get back into their feminine, and have taken it to a point of now we in society to a point now where a woman states a man has to do a certain thing to even get her to be feminine.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
has to have a certain set of accomplishments, a certain type of attitude to even get. They've moved so far into the masculine where that's their standard is the masculine, and the man has to do something to damn near force
Mm-hmm.
them into their feminine, and
And you,
that's an issue, another issue altogether.
well, and then also in regards to that, you know, I think that in the workplace, people can there's a way you can always fight. You can go
Yep.
back and forth. The way you word your emails, the way you shoot back and forth, you know, it's a dance.
Right.
But at home, when you with somebody that you love, you always gonna hold back.
Right.
You're not gonna throw that full punch if you're gonna throw it at all because you love them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this book helps us deal with and helps us to navigate. Matter of fact, the first chapter is right into that.
Well, first off, I'm make sure I say this with care.
Mm.
Uh, Men
Mm.
tend to hold back and not throw the punch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Women
That's
let
what
it
I'm saying.
fly. Women will let it fly.
Uh-huh.
But this book actually talks about that and knowing, teaches you how to navigate that and deal with the. I believe he uses the term the ocean that is women.
Man. Yep. See, I used to say that all the time. And that's the part right there that helped me to understand what was happening in my life at that moment.
Yep.
That did it. That did it. So, all right, man, you ready to jump into this thing or something else
Let
you want to hit in that?
no. Let's go ahead. Let's go and pull it out, Doc.
All right, here it is. I got a banner at the bottom. Chapter 1, stop hoping for a completion of anything in life. And I put, you're hoping it will end. All right, we got Damien coming back on again. Let's see if we can do it. All right, give us a mic check, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Oh yeah,
sir.
there it is. We got him. Welcome into the show. Long time friend of the show, long time friend of the group. None other than Damian Hill. If you've been watching, you've seen many of his comments. He's been very, very poignant. We're glad to have him join us today. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. Glad to be on the show. Glad to see the brothers. I'm here to support the brothers and definitely show some love.
We sure appreciate that, boss man. So we talking about the way of the superior man. I've seen you commenting. What you want to say about this book, brother?
Man, awesome book so far. Just getting down to maybe about the third chapter. But I mean, and just talking back and forth to Simone, man. I began to glean so much from this brother, man. And like I said, I'm glad he chose this book. It's been a blessing to me. Just made me look at myself and really think some things over. As you guys were just talking about, the both the masculine and the feminine traits, and like you say, how you begin to lose those.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think of a way to help bring about change in, let's say, relationships. Uh, for one, when it comes to couples, say like with a man and a woman, uh, the man has to create an atmosphere for that woman to become more feminine. In order to drop the masculine traits, um, and when I say this, I'm talking about as far as throughout marriage,
Mm.
when we begin to support them to the point where my wife doesn't have to worry about a thing. She knows that I'm going to take care of her. But not only am I going to take care of her, but I'm protecting, I'm providing, and this is what I mean by the atmosphere, both protecting and providing, but at the same time, making her feel secure in herself.
Mm-hmm.
So when she has no worries, like I say, I take care of her, and my thing is I won't let her feet touch the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
mean,
I mean,
go ahead.
and the truth is, I mean, yeah, when you're married like that and in that kind of relationship, you can do that freely without being taken advantage of because the person you with will not exploit you. But then going back to what the book has said about that, and this is the part that you're talking about, and let's think about this in terms of us stressing your masculine or feminine essence into a falsely balanced persona affects virtually every part of you.
Yes.
Oh yes,
So when men try to be more like women, it affects everything.
yes, sir.
Or when they try to be extra masculine, it does the same thing.
Yep. Well, first off, and I don't know if you mentioned it, uh, where he says, and I know it's in the preface where he says that this book is targeted at men who want a relationship with the
Yeah.
women, a masculine
Mhm.
man who wants a relationship with a feminine woman. So
Yes.
I'm only saying that to say this is the angle the book is written from. This is the way we'll be attacking this
Mhm.
information. Everyone I'm speaking with here right now are men in relationships, masculine men in relationships with feminine women. So that's what we're talking about. And I want y'all to understand that.
Look at Jamel. You can't love a cat into a dog. It's extremely hard to change a masculine woman. I'm glad you said that because that's the next chapter.
Yep.
It's in there. So stop hoping for a completion of anything in life.
Right.
The big thing that I highlighted, because at the top of the chapter, you had some italicized words. This is beginning statements. This is what I highlighted. The masculine error is to think that eventually things will be different in some fundamental way. They won't, and it never ends.
I have done that. I have done that. But like, okay, soon as I believe this is gonna happen and then this is gonna make this change, it does not work out like that. People in general are who they are, especially when you're dealing with people. And to me, especially when you're dealing with women, if that woman is that type of woman, like, and it says in this chapter, if the woman you're dealing with, you absolutely, how's it written? Where you absolutely distasteful, or you find distasteful, or something like that, you should leave. But if it just don't like it, you can work with it. Something along those lines. I don't want to mess his words up.
Well, let's take a pause real quick. So Mike King has entered the chat.
Oh boy, here we go.
So you say you have to respectfully agree with Mr. Hill. I believe it's a trait where either you are or you aren't. And when you meet a woman, if she's not already feminine, there's no working toward it. Same for masculine. It's either already who you are, no matter the circumstances. In a way, because go ahead.
Well, I understand where Brother Mike coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do believe a woman either has natural feminine traits or kind of natural masculine traits. But I do think in today's society, because women have to go out into the workforce and in some cases have these high level jobs where they have to be in charge of people and run this and run that, you have to create a space, like Brother Hill said, where she can rest in her feminine.
Right.
And generally, in my experience, that comes from trust. That when she walks in the door, the things a man, quote unquote, is supposed to handle, as defined in that relationship,
right,
she can trust those are going to be done. Whatever those are, I don't know how everybody relationship different. Everybody have different requirements. Everybody money different. I'm not talking about, but whatever that is, that's expected of you, the man. Are you going to take care of that? And whatever, and that's how she can rest. She don't want to have to be on all the stuff that the man supposed to take care of.
Well, I'll say this. Spinning back toward the book, because this is what I noticed, and it's real easy to fall into this. The direction that the book takes is what you're going to do.
Right.
And how you're going to handle that.
Correct.
Jamel, I see your comment. I'm gonna throw it up there in a minute, but I want to say this. He says in the book, if your woman's behavior or mood is truly intolerable to you, you should leave her and don't look back, since you cannot change her.
Right.
But
there you go, Mike. You cannot change her. You are correct, Mike. He agrees with you, but go ahead.
But he said, but it's some nuance to that, because he said, however, if you can find her behavior or mood merely distasteful or a hassle, realize that she will always seem this way, because the feminine always seems chaotic and complicated from the perspective of the masculine. To them, it's normal, but to us, it don't make sense. So what he's telling you is that I think both of y'all right.
Yeah,
because go ahead.
I apologize, brother. I agree with you. I think two things could be true at the same time. We're just seeing it from different vantage points.
Right.
I'm 23 years in married. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at it from one point, and I think as if someone just getting into a relationship, they see the red flags and they're like, nah, I'm not going to deal with this. But
that's true.
When you've been given the opportunity of spending time with someone and you're able to foster and cultivate, you know what I'm saying, a great relationship where they can thrive and they can, you know what I'm saying, just really rest in their femininity, then if they had those traits, my brother, I promise you, it'll just fall away. All those traits will just fall by the wayside.
You know what? Let's hit on that because
Yes, sir.
that's what this chapter is. Now
Right.
watch this. What do he say? The next time you notice yourself trying to fix your woman so that she will no longer, and they say fill in the blank, relax and give her love and telling her that you love her when she is this way and whatever, embrace her, wrestle with her, scream or yell for the heck of it, but make no effort to bring an end to that which pisses you off. Practice love instead.
And argue naked.
But he's always said you cannot escape the tussle with the feminine. See, that's the big stuff. You can't win. You can't win that fight. Learn how to find humor in the unending emotional drama the feminine seem to enjoy so much. The love that you magnify may realign her behavior, but your effort to fix her and your frustration never will.
Listen, when I
I
tell you
agree.
that lesson right there, boy, do you know how many nights of sleep I got back because of that lesson right there?
That's the first chapter, man. We just getting in it.
I
Hey,
love you, baby. That's it. I'm
hey,
rolling through that. Hey, I'm not going back and forth with you.
let me
You
tell
can be
you,
right back over here and love me in 25 minutes.
in the beginning, we so long ago, we would if there was any kind of disagreements, I would do something like pray out loud in her face. Lord, I thank you for this woman. But Lord, she's being so disagreeable right about now.
Mhm.
Lord, and she would just sit there and smile because it was, you know, you found the humor in it,
Yeah,
but yet and still I was able to get my points across.
There it is. Now, brother Jamel, I think makes a good point
yeah.
here.
Well, let's throw it up there.
Yeah.
Jamel said, I have a friend that's a feminine male and he married a masculine female and they work. He made someone of everyone. You just got to be honest about who you are.
Well, he talks about that in the preface about
Yeah.
some men have more feminine traits and some women have more masculine traits,
Mhm.
and that can work as long as both traits are present.
Yeah.
So Jamel, you absolutely correct that your friend made it work in their household, and that's sometimes how it goes. But once again, it still comes down to, are you fulfilling the role that you need to fulfill in that relationship, however that's defined in your household?
So let's ease on to this part. And this is, I'm going to ease on to this part and then we're going to flip back up to the top. So remember how you said he gives us directions on how we can improve these areas. So
Right.
he said the world and your woman will always present you with unforeseen challenges. You don't, crazy stuff going to happen. They're going to hit the
Oh,
curb and bend the rim. They're going to, spend more money than they intended. All this stuff going to happen. But
no.
either,
Hold on.
uh,
They're not spending more money than they intended. They spending more money than you intended. Get that right. They spend exactly what they were going to spend.
I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but you're right.
Let's state that correctly.
Hey, you're right. But he said, either you are living fully, giving your gift in the midst of those challenges, even today, or you are waiting for an imaginary future which will never come. Men who have lived significant lives are men who never waited, not for money, security, ease, or women. So let me throw Mike up there. Then I'm gonna loop this back around. And he laughed out loud. He said, correct. His friend was already that. She didn't make him more feminine and he didn't make her more masculine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's check this out. So what you just said about men never wait. The man who wants to live a full life doesn't wait. He brings that up. I like don't we can't. I don't want to graze past when he's talking about, make sure if you're waiting on this or that, make sure you do that thing that you love.
Let's talk about that.
Right.
Let's set there for a minute. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, you say make sure you do that thing that you love for what, at least an hour a day, every day.
Yes. Yes. So
And I think
spend at
that's
least 1
important.
hour a day doing something you love to do, what you deeply feel you need to do in your heart, in spite of the daily duties that seem to constrain you. So, what is he saying? Get in touch with yourself. We,
Yep,
as men, we always are concentrated on giving, providing. Everything is outward, but sometimes you got to do some stuff inward for
yep,
you. And for, what I say, what for me, you know what it was? Building a studio and editing videos and making videos. I don't get paid for none of that,
exactly.
but that's what I like to do.
And for me, it's this what we're doing right now. I don't do it every day, but we get enough hours in throughout the week. Where I feel like I'm doing something that I really want to do. I enjoy this. It's a pastime for me. I enjoy the books we're getting into. So you gotta find something
Mm-hmm.
that you can dedicate your energy to and your time to. That's for you. I go to the gym. That's for me. That's strictly for me. Nobody
Yeah,
benefits more from me being in the gym than me.
exactly.
You
You
gotta
got to
find
take
those
care of
stuff.
yourself.
Yeah. So men, I think that we get so caught up. We put our head down. We at the job.
Mm-hmm.
We making sure the kids got this. Making sure the lady ain't that got this, and we don't ever take time. And some
Look,
people expect us never to do it.
have you ever seen a man that has the light going out of his eyes
Yep.
and all he's doing is walking around trying to provide, trying to never does anything else but that? The light is gone. And we all know it because it was us. We
Yep.
all did that before.
Yep. We think that's what we're supposed to do.
And look, truth, got to be selfish sometimes for the good of the family. And then Mike might say, yes, sir. Take care of yourself. Taking care of multiple people is strenuous.
He ain't lying.
And then you get a for using the big word today. There.
Word of the day, strenuous, fellas. Word of the day, strenuous. Brought to you by Mike King.
Man,
Hey, can I say this much?
Go
yeah.
ahead.
I guess in my case, and it may be the same thing for a lot of other men.
Mm.
We, as far as taking the hour for our own selves,
Mm-hmm.
we understand the fact that we're responsible for more than just ourselves.
Right.
And so we have dedicated the whole of ourselves to everyone and everything else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've
That's
I've
true.
I've I've watched for years the way Doc has dedicated himself to
Yeah.
everybody. Everybody.
Yeah.
I can call on this fella at any given moment, and
Mm.
he's always there. And so I think we neglect ourselves because of responsibility.
That's true. That is true. Hold on. We got to take a time out. Hold on. OG said he late.
OG,
Hold
you ain't
on.
never late. You always on time.
It was, that's OG.
Got his own theme music out here now.
Yeah. Yeah, I always give a shout out to the OG because he's been here since day one. Every book study, everything, he's always here. Stretching himself out. We've talked on the phone several times, so I had to give that up to him. OG, we love you, man. He said, oh, yeah, that's you. All right. So I'm sorry to get y'all off track with that, but yeah, that's definitely a point. I mean, we dedicate ourselves because we've been told that. We've been told that that's what we're supposed to do.
First, second, third priority is everybody else.
Guess what?
Matter, yeah,
And if we drop the ball, we understand the fact that no one's coming to save us.
Right.
no.
We don't have time to dream. We don't have time to play. It's time to get this money, and it's time to take care of our family. But
Yeah.
like I think that was Jamel said, we have to find time to be selfish.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We really do. For me, my wife would tell you, hey, look, I like get my toes done.
Hey,
I take time out and get these little crusty feet done.
uh,
I wear steel toes all day long, man, and I take that much time out for myself, man.
mhm.
So that's about it. I can do better. I can do better.
Let me say this, fellas. Get you a hobby.
Yeah, yeah,
Get a hobby. It ain't everything I know we want to get to this money. I know we love to chase the bag and all of that. everything we do on the side does not have to earn money. It can just
No,
be because you enjoy it.
but you need that to rejuvenate yourself. And I think
Yeah.
that's what he's getting to. That's what we need to do because we spend so much time working and trying to figure out our women. But
Yep.
we have
Yes,
to
sir.
take time to figure out ourselves.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the problem. And you figure out yourself through doing some stuff you enjoy. I mean,
Yeah.
even stuff that you, all right, look what he say here. He says, let me see. Most postponements are excuses for lack of creative discipline. Limited money, family obligations never stopped the man who really wanted to do something, although they provide excuses for a man who's really not up to the creative challenge in the first place.
Ooh. Ooh.
I said this one time before in one of our lives. I said we use the fact that we don't have enough money, we don't have enough time, we got to work overtime as an excuse not
Yeah.
to do something.
Yep. Yep. Stop using that's that same old cop out. Oh, I need to ask my wife.
There you go. So OG, you missed that part. You never truly figure him out. Yep.
They're
But
not designed to be figured out.
so let me ask y'all this. I'm serious. Well, hold on. Let me stop because we get some good comments in here. All right, Mike King, he learned this years ago. Trying to get my brother on board. You got to put yourself first sometimes. There's no praise or reward coming. Take your break. Well, you coming with that heat, boy.
Boy,
Mike King be putting
Mike
it.
out here dropping these
Yes,
dimes right here
sir.
tonight, boy. He's setting us up. He
Uh-huh.
looking like Jason Kidd out here. He's Magic Johnson out here. He's setting us up out here. Mike, you 100% correct.
Yeah.
That's the same thing, that completion thing that he was talking about.
Mhm.
There is no reward coming. There is no end. There is no, oh, I can
Nope.
stop now. That's not coming. So
You never gonna make enough
gotta-
money.
Yeah, you're never gonna
Never.
make enough money. As soon as you get to a certain level, you're gonna start trying to get to the next one.
And the next one, and the next one. And guess
So
what?
take
The
your
people you
break.
taking care of, they're gonna keep getting taken care of.
And they're gonna keep asking for more. They're gonna keep as long as they know daddy got it,
Look,
they're gonna keep rolling.
if I make $100,000, my family eat. If I make 105, they still eating. If I make
Yep.
90, they still eating. So
Yeah.
it don't matter. It don't matter. But here's the question I got for y'all. I want y'all to really think about this because we're gonna do some of this stuff. What is the thing that you wanted to do that you feel like you never had time to do or didn't have enough money to do? What is it? I'm
Definitely.
serious. Think about it.
Think about it. Think about it.
Because we're gonna do this. We're gonna devote an hour or 30 minutes or whatever you can do to even think about something for yourself, something you wanted to try or do.
Yeah. My shooters out there, when the last time you been to the gun range? I know some of y'all out there. When you been to that gun range, man? That's that for me. That's a pad. That's a little pressure come right off you every time you let one of them rounds go. So just think. I ain't been in no minute.
Well, you know me. I'm taking my son. We're gonna go see Dragon Ball Superhero.
Oh yeah. That might go down this weekend too.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I like to do? I'm not even gonna lie. One thing I got into that I like to do when I was a kid is build models. So I would go to Hobby Lobby and buy a model kit. I got a model kit of Starscream over there, of a Transformer I built. I just sat down and put it together. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that to help you find yourself.
Yep. You gotta find a hobby, fellas. Find yourself a hobby. Find something you can do, in the house, outside the house, whatever. Just you gotta find that outlet for you to be you.
Yeah. So y'all got some final thoughts on that chapter before we move on? Because these chapters kind of short. So we're gonna try to squeeze in 3 of them today. We're gonna try. Final thoughts?
Yeah, I just, for me, just find something for yourself.
Hey. Yep. Be there with. Oh, let's go. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Let's look at this. So, OG say, yep, crew will be there with you. So we might see Dragon Ball together that we talked about on the phone the other day. Build my 1,000-foot tree house.
Wow.
That might be dope,
Bro,
Mike.
I
You
ain't
have to post that in the group.
Yeah.
Mike, you have to post that up in the group, Mike.
I want to know where you found a tree at big enough to hold at. Oh man. And look, we got one here. Been playing golf for the past few years.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, um, that's true. Golf a good one. And here we
That's a
go
good
right
one.
here. My man T Man, loving it so far. Now, this is the guy I was talking about. He and I was going through this stuff with this book. This was there, so he know. But any closing thoughts on that one, anybody?
I think that's it, but let's roll to the
All
next
right,
one.
let's roll. Let's roll. All right, chapter 2. Live with an open heart, even if it hurts. And I put the subtitle, we tend to shut down. It's a lot of
Man,
stuff we run away from.
yes, sir.
I'm serious. Remember earlier I said that the battles change,
Yep.
that a physical battle is what we used to fighting. Somebody run up on us, we can handle it. We can take care of it. But how do we fight the battle of ideas? How do we fight when we're being suppressed and held down? When you can't fight back with your fists? This is going to tell you how to do it. So he said, closing down in the midst of pain is the denial of a man's true nature. A superior man is free. And then he said he should learn to stay in the wound of pain and act with spontaneous skill and love, even from that place. Stop shutting down. We shut down. I do it. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I do it. I just won't say nothing. Like, all right, won't say nothing. But we got to deal with that stuff. And he says skill and love. See, that's the part I like. The part about the love, it keeps us from going overboard, from damaging too many things.
And that's so important. I'm glad you stopped back and touched back on the and love,
Yep.
because I think that's one of the things that we forget about as men, that we can't just approach everything from brute and from grind and from go get it. Some things in our life we have to approach from love.
That's true. So
Yeah.
look at what we got. Oh, go ahead, D.
Go ahead.
Now I was gonna read the comment, but you go ahead and say what you're gonna say, then I'll read it.
No, I'm just something that happened to me a while back.
Hmm.
Family member and I just keeping the point going about having an open heart, man, and definitely showing love. We got into it all the way to the point where it came to blows, and the very next day I called him up. I said, "Hey, man, meet me at the movie theater. Bring you and your family."
Mm-hmm.
Because I looked past what transpired, because family means everything to me.
Right.
So
And that
still having that open heart, because I know the long game. I know the long game.
mm-hmm.
First off, brother, let me salute you for that. That's very hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
To look at a situation, understand me and this person may have disagreed or had a disagreement, but my love for this person and for my family is bigger than the
Oh,
outlier incident.
that's right.
That's big, man. I salute you for that, brother.
Yeah, definitely. So see what Jamel say down here.
Yeah,
Honestly, that's one promise my wife asked me to make when we got married, and the hardest for me to do. You know what? I concur. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw this sign to you. T Man taught me that when we teach it together. That means we connect. And this is the reason why. This is the reason. I'm gonna tell you why. Why it happens. Because I know for me, stuff feels fruitless. It feels fruitless. So why in the world am I gonna keep talking to you when I know I think you're not listening? And you notice I said I think you're not listening.
right.
So I'm gonna stop talking because it don't make sense. But in actuality, I'm probably wrong.
And the not shutting down thing, I
Yeah.
think is a lot of us do that. I know I used to do it because I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Look at the comment. Look down there. Look down there. I'm saying it's right there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to go past, like we said earlier about that pulling that punch.
Yeah. See? Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go. I don't want to throw that blow.
You want to
So
put that
sometimes I
haymaker
shut
out there.
down and just say, whatever. And that was my natural.
Yeah.
And I actually had a conversation with my lady about it. My natural reaction, I learned through this book. is not going to be the most productive thing
Yes.
for my relationship.
And you are right. Shutting down, we don't want to throw the haymaker to mess up everything we got going on.
Right.
You know what it is with us? We adapt. We will adapt
Yeah.
easily.
Yes.
We will adapt to the point to where we cut ourselves off from whatever we need or want to preserve the interior of that family, that relationship. We will cut it off. I will go without.
Yes.
And we used to doing it. And one thing I've come to, still working on putting it into practice, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know everything and got it down pat. But one thing, mindset I'm trying to get myself into is that neglecting myself is bad too.
Yeah.
So not saying something is bad. But look what he said. He said you had to act with skill and love. Skill.
Yeah.
So you have to know how to do this thing and not shy away. Inaction is not action.
Right. Understand that. And that's
Wow.
I had to really learn that inaction is not action. And
Yeah.
inaction, sometimes you sitting there, is damn near tearing your relationship apart.
Yeah. So look at this. So T-Man say hate the action, love the person. I say that all the time. OG said I'll kill him with kindness and dissing yourself till you in a calm mindset. That's skill.
That's
But
skill.
see, that's action. That's not shutting down. That's action.
Because the killing with kindness part.
Yeah. All right, Damon, you practicing what you preach. There we
All
go.
day. All day.
Yes, sir. Jamel agreeing with what I said earlier about that feeling and what we thinking.
Yeah.
T-Man had to laugh because you said what the comment was down there.
Yeah.
All right, now here we got a long one. Here we go. T-Man also say, especially the action in the moment. So I've learned to come back to the problem or conversation the next day or later in the week with a clear mind and clarity in words. Having enough self-control in the moment to say nothing, but not deal with it or talk about it is not helpful either.
Yes.
Then he said, but patience and how you approach it and how you say what you want to say is a learned skill. That was a whole bunch right there.
Right.
He hit it. Home run.
Can I sum it up like this? Cooler heads always prevail.
Right.
When we had time to just kind of let it sit there and ruminate and like, okay, I'm gonna go at it from this point. No, this will be better if I say this. No. Then at the end of the day, we're like, I'm just gonna apologize and it's gonna be all right.
And that gets you past it. You get past it and you go ahead.
I think one of the biggest mistakes, me personally, and I think other men that I've spoken with, is women will say whatever they say, and the situation will be whatever it is, and we'll project what we think their reaction is going to be.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Rather than let's go ahead and have this conversation or have this, I don't want to say argument, but have this debate or whatever, and actually see what that person's real reaction is. Because most of the time we've made things a lot worse in our head than they're actually going to be.
Right.
I think that's one. I know for me that was one of the reasons I shut down. Because like I don't even want to. I already know where this conversation gonna go. I ain't even want to have it.
Like you got like you Doctor Strange or something.
Yeah.
I looked into the future and I saw all these different realities. If I just say it this way, if I just do this, how she's gonna react?
Yeah.
Man, come on.
But you know what though? This is what I get. And I just came to this, and you got to believe that the person that loves you,
mm-hmm.
when you're talking to them, they still love you.
Yeah.
Just the same way, if they said some stuff to you, you will accept it. So why can't we extend the same grace to them that they can't trust them enough to have that same thing?
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
And look at this. We just prepare ourselves for a good and bad outcome. Yeah. Yes. We do that.
Yeah. Well, I think for us, in our age, we've gotten we do prepare for a good and a bad outcome, but we've gotten to a point where we know we have to go and get this outcome one way or the other. We
Yeah.
can't just leave it hanging out there for perpetuity. We
It,
got to
it's the
address
it's
the
the
issue.
long game. It's the
Yeah.
long game.
And that's what you said earlier. You got to play that. You got to play that. So here's some lessons. Remember, I like this, and Lion said this too, where he tells us how to fix it. Think actionable items.
Yes.
Now, in this case, the actionable item is a physical transformation that will lead to a mental transformation, a mental shift. So
Yes.
you have to physically do these things. And that makes it a lot easier to physically, because we physical beings. So it's
Right.
easier to physically do stuff. Now, what he said here, I'm going to read it. He said, the superior man practices opening during these times of automatic closure. Open the front of your body so your chest and solar plexus are not tense. Sit or stand straight, full open in the front of your body, softening the chest and belly, wide and free. Breathe down through your chest and solar plexus deep into your belly. Take these deep breaths. Now, there's some big words. Hey man, I'm reading these out the book. but that's your belly. That's that. So, and honestly, breathing. This is that breathing works. But when you breathe into your belly, you're filling your belly up with air, not just your lungs. It does something to your body. It kind of it calms you down. Then he said, look directly into the eyes of whoever you are with, feeling your own pain as well as feeling the other person. Only when the front of your body is relaxed and open, your breath deep and full, and your gaze unguarded and directly connected with another person's eyes, can your fullest intelligence manifest spontaneous in the situation. And he compares us to samurais. He said, to act as a superior man, a samurai of relationship, you must feel the entire situation with your whole body. A closed body is unable to sense subtle cues and signals, and therefore unable to act with mastery in the situation.
Now,
Bruh.
I love that. One, because like you said, he gives you physical steps to take. So just knowing you're in those physical steps automatically, and for me, and probably for a lot of people, why it works, gives you a sense of confidence. Okay, I know I'm doing something the right way.
Yeah.
So once you start any action, knowing you're doing it the right way, you get a little different confidence, a different attitude towards it, and you know, okay, I'm actively working to make this situation better. Now, I may not succeed every
Take
time.
practice.
It takes practice, but I know I'm actively working to make the situation better, and it's a good feeling. I trust me, it worked for me.
But look at this. There is, fight or flight response. We all have that.
Right.
There are different sectors of your brain at play. When the fight or flight response is the back part of your brain, that's the part, and it's just reactive.
Right.
So by doing this, I think that's box breathing. Navy SEALs use box breathing, and that job work. I'm telling you. But when you breathe in that certain way, and you unclench your fists, you're not fighting anymore. You'll be able to use the intelligent part, the frontal lobe, to engage the situation. So you're setting yourself up for success. But we got to practice.
Oh yeah, it's a
Hey,
skill.
but
Skill,
what if I?
talent you have naturally. Skill only comes from years and years and years of honing on your craft. That's your boy Will Smith. Go ahead, D.
Oh no, I was just about to say, mm, if we had the three guys on the show right now in the room,
Hmm.
we could have a conversation without saying a word.
Yeah.
And when he talks about this open posture,
Mhm.
you know, it's just telltale signs to someone that you're, hey, look, I come in peace. It's gonna be all right. Or you know what I'm saying? It really sets the stage for what's about to come out your mouth.
Oh yeah.
So
I think this is connected. We talked about something like this in the 48 Laws of Power, being in control of yourself, stuff
Yep.
like that. And there are two things I'm gonna say in the book right here. He said, contracted and closed in on yourself. You are unable to act. You are trapped in your own self-protective tension, no longer a free man. You are a slave. You have enslaved yourself by not taking these actions and relaxing.
Yeah. And we become a slave to our reactions instead of our reactions being a slave to us.
And this reminds me, I'm gonna make here go another nerd reference. Y'all may or may not get it, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway. It's a game called Ghost of Tsushima. Awesome game. And it takes place in the samurai times, and you are this guy, the samurai, and you have your armor and stuff. But when you fight the enemies, you have to pick a certain fighting style to use so you can defeat them. And this is the same thing. You have to pick the right style. You can pick the wind style. You can pick the earth style, something that's going to break through the armor of the person that you have faced off against. And in this situation, that's what you need to do. You need to break through that armor to take control of the situation and come to a consensus. That's what's missing.
Yes, sir.
Y'all need to play
sir.
that game. Y'all playing. All right. Any last thoughts on that one?
I think for me, this chapter, what you wrote up there, the don't shut down, is probably kind of what I took from it as well. This was one of the chapters where I realized the shutting down was something I was doing.
Yeah.
And just this is one of the. I think I want to say the first time I read this chapter, I went back and listened to it again the very first time I went through the book, because I as I was reading it, I learned that about myself, and I really wanted to try to take advantage of what was being taught here. So if this is something you do, if you are a person that shuts down and I did, I'm working hard on it.
Hey, I'm working on it too. Believe me.
Please go back and read it if you need to, and try to apply these methods. They do work, and it has, for me, created a lot more conversation and a lot less walk out the room. So
yeah. So look at this. When we first met, Doc, we were both in shutdown mode too. That it for real, and it's hard to get out of unless you got another dude looking after you. And you know what? What we went through and the stuff we talked about is what this whole thing resulted in. Because I told you, if you remember, I said I want to do something for some other dudes who going through this, and this was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
And hooked up with the lion, and we here.
Yep. And I think that's one of the biggest issues we have in our society is men don't talk to men.
Yeah.
We talk about sports and keep it moving. We don't talk about life with each other. But we talk that we broach that topic all the time.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Chapter 3. Oh, now see, this is the good one. And I know this why Damien is on today. The main one, because he stirred up a hornet's nest with this one.
Yes.
But live as if your father were dead. What do you owe to your community? All right, man. I'm gonna let one of y'all jump on this one first because
okay, first I'm gonna answer the question. What do you owe your community? I replied in the post Brother Damien put up there, and I said I don't look at it as I owe my community anything. I look at it as I owe myself. I owe myself, like I said, live as if your father were dead. I owe myself to use all of the talents that were given to me by my parents and my people and my family, and the investment that was put in me to maximize those talents. And in the process of that, because of my belief system and my mission, that, like we talked about earlier, my community will benefit. But Brother David, you go ahead. I know you got some comments on this.
Oh, no, nothing big. As I was reading through the chapter, man, and I just thought to myself, my goodness, it says live as if your father, you didn't have those expectations over your head any longer, as if your father were dead. And I thought about our community.
Yeah.
With so many single parents raising children and not having that father in the home to have those expectations of you. So I say, well, who has the expectations for these young men, these young women? Who?
Oh,
The
that's a good.
community. And
That's a
that's where
good.
I got that from. The community. The
But
community has an expectation for us. That's what I was asking.
well, but you know what? The conversation this thing got so good, we called each other on the phone. I called him and we started diving into this a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Now,
You know he
to
don't play.
me, it means something different. And when you posted that, I didn't answer right away. I wanted to think about it and
Hmm.
say the right thing. And I still haven't really responded to say the right thing, but I'm gonna say it now. The chapter talks about um, unrealistic expectations that your father may have on you,
Right.
Yes.
and now you're gonna live like those things are not on you. So the one thing that came up as we were talking is, are you your son's dream killer? Are you the one that's putting forth these unrealistic expectations and criticisms? I think about, there's a YouTube I watch. He talk about all kind of stuff called Mark with a C, and he talks about how he liked to draw when he was a kid, teenager, and his dad would find his drawings and tear them up, saying, "Oh, this is nothing. You don't need to do this. You need to go out there and get a job, tear stuff up." And he stopped. He never touched another piece of paper or pencil again. So I asked, are we our son's dream killer?
Well, this takes us back to one of the last few chapters we did in 40. One of the last few laws we did in the 40 Laws of Power was about the relationship between father and son.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes the father sees this, tries to impose the way his laws and his rules and his life on the son, and raise the son to the same situation he was raised in, when the father has gone out of his way to change the situation.
But you know what, though? We do also live vicariously through our children.
That's right.
Amen.
We try.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the same one when you see these dads putting his son in football, but his son want to actually draw,
Right.
but they have to play anyway and they don't let them quit. That's not what they want to do. Not at all. But let's look at this thing. Yep, depends. Now, OG said that depends on your definition of community. So I want to rest on that for a second, because to me, community is something different. Because in that discussion post that Damien wrote, a lot of people were talking about a neighborhood. But to me, community is the people that I associate with every day.
Amen.
This, y'all, my community.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's different. Jamel said, I feel as though it's my God-given responsibility to help his children as much as I can, starting with my people and branching outward.
I respect that, Jamel. There's a movie called 10,000 BC where it talks about men who draw a circle around themselves. You might want to watch that. That's a deep part.
Hey.
I really enjoy that part of that movie. That'll probably work real good for what you're talking about, brother.
That fit with my three-dimensional family change model. I haven't put that in paper yet, but it's a thing.
Yep.
OG said the only expectation I have for my children is to do your best and be honestly happy for what you want to do.
That's beautiful.
Now, check this out, OG. Don't forget, though, you may have to make them uncomfortable
Yeah.
for them to do their best. There's going to be times when you're going to have to, as a father, make them be uncomfortable, because sometimes we have to push our kids and ourselves out of our comfort zone to get the most out of them.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of that, I did this to my son the other day. My wife and I was talking, he doing virtual school. So we were talking like, yeah, we need to get him out the house and do some stuff. I said, all right, now. So I came to him. I said, all right, you got three choices. We can learn some fighting. Like Krav Maga. I said, we can learn some fighting. We can hit the Boy Scouts, or we can do something else. I said, you got to pick one unless you come up with something better. Now, of course, my boy, he just want to sit in the house. He just want to be into himself. But I'm like, we got to branch out and do some things. So just what you said, making them uncomfortable, but it's for their good. It's not driving them to follow in our footsteps,
Right.
but it's helping them create their own footsteps.
One thing about us as parents, we do have the wisdom of time on our side, and we know that as much as our children may love this or that, there is some value to being well rounded.
That's true.
You
That
know,
is true.
you may love to be a gamer as a child, but you still need to get some physical activity just so your body to be strong.
That's right. Jamel says, see, I come from a different place. My father encouraged me and still does. He only asked for me to be a good person and a good man. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. All right. We go to explain the good and bad and all the endeavors.
There it
Yeah,
is.
that's OG right there. That's it. All right. Akil Nasir's entered the chat. They need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's the only way you get stronger and affect change.
Yep.
All right. Adversity builds character.
Yep.
So
all these things are true, and it is our responsibility as parents to help our children balance these things out. We do want them to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, but we also got to make sure we don't push them so hard to where they tear up the paper and never want to draw again.
Exactly. Because you never know what you stifled.
Right.
But, all right, let's switch gears real quick and then we can wrap it up. How would you have lived your life differently if you never tried to please your father? Now, he say father, I'm going to say mother. Mother and father, your parents, your community. What is something that you avoided doing because the community didn't want you to do it? Because the community thought it was not good, or your parents? What is that thing?
I think we all go through a period, probably in our teenage years, our young 20s, where fitting in becomes very important to us. And I think during that time, I spent more time worried about fitting in. And it wasn't so much to do with my mother or my father, just society. I wish I had spent less time worrying about fitting in and more time worrying about figuring out who I am.
And that's why I included community.
Yeah.
Because it's all the people around you and the things.
Yep. So that's for me.
I mean, I really want to think about this thing. Akil said, honestly, nothing.
That's good.
I mean, I'm taking some time to think about that because my parents were very supportive. Whatever I wanted to do, I could do it. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And as I get older, I'm discovering new things or revisiting things that I kind of wanted to do back when, but I didn't for one reason or another. If it's because of my own limitations that I don't have time to do this, or I don't know how to look into this, or it costs too much, or, it was something that the parents would think that wouldn't be good. So it's lots of things. So what I want y'all to do, let's start thinking about that. And then once you figure that thing out, then he says, practice it once a day. To do it once a day for 3 days. Even if you feel fearful, limited, unworthy, or burdens by your father's expectations. Oh, you know what? For me, that's what I'm going to do. That Krav Maga class, I'm going to go ahead and sign up and take it. Because I feel like I do have some limitations with that because I don't know nothing about it. That's straight up street fighting. I never had cause to fight, but no fights like that. I don't want to do it. So I'm going to do it.
There it is.
Just not on Thursdays at 7.
We're going to be here.
Can I say this much, man?
Oh, please, brother.
Just thinking to myself, how hard it is to think of what I really wanted to do. As men, we don't have time to dream. We don't. We don't have time to dream. Yeah.
And that's what I was getting to. Sometimes we can't. We just can't because we don't know how. Or it was crushed as a kid.
Yeah.
We put ourselves in a box
Hmm.
that we didn't even know we put ourselves in. I think, and that's pretty sad.
And Jamel said I never really fit in, and my parents really wouldn't let me. Because of that, I was able to know myself on a deeper level than most.
There you
Yeah,
go.
but that can go a lot of different ways, not fitting in, depending
Right.
on the environment. Because I don't think I really fit in either, at least in my local community. There was a part when I turned 16. I never forget this. I was hanging out with the fellas out there, where we at, and stuff wasn't going my way. It just didn't feel right. They was talking about me doing all this stuff for nothing. And I left that day and never came back. I haven't seen, and I live down the street from. I haven't seen them in years. So that's a thing there too that will crush you. So I guess what this
Yeah.
is getting to is let's explore the things that has happened to us or that we have done that's causing our own limitations.
Can we put Mike? Mike, you fit in right here, brother.
He said
This
he
is where you
said don't fit in. Hey, look at here. We got a clay jigsaw puzzle over here. It don't matter what the opening is. We'll mold you in to fit it. You always welcome, bro. And Jamel, I was a black boy in Boy Scouts and playing racquetball, but
What I
friends with gang members.
what I realize is we all have this image. Society's giving us this image of the monolithic black man or the monolithic black person,
Uh huh.
and when we as individuals don't fit into that, we feel like we're separate from our own group. When the truth is, most of us don't fit into that. Most of
That's
us are
true.
not this not very flattering idea of what a black, especially a young black man is.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us aren't that, but we like I said, I wish I spent less time trying to fit in.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know, but I want to give brother Damien an opportunity to close any closing remarks, and so we can get ready to shut this thing down for the evening.
Nah, I'm good, man. No closing remarks. I'm grateful you guys had me on, man, and I just love the show.
all right.
Appreciate you
Now we
joining us,
just
brother.
got somebody wanting to jump on. Tisha Johnston. Um, let me throw on right quick.
All right,
Hey there.
how you doing, Miss Johnston? She's muted. She's got her mute on.
All right. Oh,
Hello,
there
can
you
you
go.
hear me?
There you go.
Hi,
Hey.
how are you guys doing?
Turn the show down in the back. You got echo.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
Turn the show down in the back. You got echo.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
How you doing
So
tonight, Miss Johnson?
Pardon me.
I said, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Doing great. Love to have you on. What are your thoughts?
Well, I just hopped on. Just this Simone.
yeah.
Hey, how you doing? I remember you from high school.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I seen that y'all had a live broadcast. Want to jump on just to hear what you guys were talking about?
Oh, you didn't. You're live right now. You must have didn't even jump on and get you in the show.
Oh, okay.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's all right.
Basically, we do this live show every week. We have a book study. We recently studied the 48 Laws of Power. Went through every chapter,
Oh,
and on now we're in the Way of the Superior Man, in which it explores ways that men can improve themselves and improve their relationships. So we kind of work through these chapters and work through these exercises so that we can become better in what we do.
Yeah. I'm on board with that.
All right. And on Saturdays, we're here on Saturdays talking about issues and topics, which I guess we'll get to that part. But definitely, we thank you for coming on. But we just getting to the point where we
getting ready to
we
wrap it
wrapping
up.
up.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Yeah, we
So you
start. We
say
start at
Saturday at what time?
7 to 7:15. We start between 7 to 7:15.
And that's on Thursday. Saturday show about 11.
All right. And how can I get notifications about your shows?
Have you joined the group?
Let me see.
Probably not, because I did start streaming this on my personal page, but we have a YouTube channel and we have a group. So what I'll do is that I'll leave a link to that in the comments, not the comments, but the post. The post of the show where it has join this conversation. I'll leave a link to that stuff in there too. So that way you'll be able to access it.
Okay, great. All right.
Perfect. All right. Well, if you have anything else to add, I guess before we shut it down, Jay, let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. So on Saturday, we got a lineup coming for you. We got a lot of important things to talk about. We're going to talk about Andrew Tate. If you don't know who Andrew Tate is, I will go ahead and I'll try to put some homework up in the group so you can be well aware, because he just got banned on all platforms. YouTube,
Instagram,
Facebook,
YouTube.
Instagram, Twitter, all of it. And the question is, was it deserved? And what does this mean for everything else? So we're going to talk about that. We got a whole lot more stuff lined up because so much stuff happening in the world. We got the black lady psychologist with the things that she said. We're going to talk about that too.
Wow.
We got to hit that. We'll circle back around. This MCU thing still been going on, so we talk about some nerd stuff over here too. So we'll circle back to that because I got a few more things to talk about that's going on in the comic book world. So with that, Jay, it's on you, man.
Thank y'all for joining us. As always, we'll be back Thursday for a few more chapters of The Way of the Superior Man. We'll be here Saturday at 11. We got a lot of hot topics going on. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate all the comments, everybody that jumped in. We love you. We out.
Peace.